Minahan.
Welcome to Talk Cosmos, the show where Sue Rose Minahan and guests unveil astrology's ancient archetypes that continually build the collective experiences in our unconsciousness. Get ready to find your free will from your roots in the stars.
This is 2021, the winds of change, and if this is anything like as I've been personally experiencing, even up till to now, we are in a gale. But I have a panel of 4 that are marvelous. We have Suzie Kerr-Wright on the top there from Nashville, Tennessee. We have Madame Ximon from on the other side from Camano Island in Washington, and Kathrine Metcalf from East Moline near Chicago in Illinois. And I'm on the volcano just about over here on the big island of Kailua-Kona. So maybe it's a little disruption, but we're talking about 2021 this year. And there are quite a few big events. And I wanted to give a little bit of information, though, about these wonderful people. Suzie Kerr-Wright's an astrologer, psychic medium, Reiki master, teacher, certified life coach, and does consultations for many years, has studied at the I was going to go on about, she's a weekly air astrologer on WSCA FM radio, a guest on Today in Nashville, writes astrology columns, and studied at the Arthur Findlay College of Psychic Sciences in England. And Kathrine Metcalf is a professional astrologer, intuitive, and tarot card reader, consultations 25 years, does phone and Zoom, writes astrology articles, and teaches astrology, intuition, and tarot at Blackhawk College in Moline, Illinois. You can wave, you guys, let people know who you are. Featured on NBC, ABC TV in Phoenix, Arizona, and she also publishes articles. Madame Ximon's an archaeological, archetypal astrologer, a tarot reader, and visionary fine artist. Studied and practiced divination arts for 3 decades and a consultant. She creates custom art-based astrological events, one-of-a-kind hand-stitched herbal dream pillows, and dedicates her research and study primarily to Lilith. Now tonight we're going to talk about a lot of issues. Suzie, I think you had a thought. Now can you see this chart that I just pulled up, all of you?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, this is February 14th, 2021. And I think I figure with a lot of, you know what? I want to stop myself. We've received so much support from our audience. It's wonderful to know that you're there. And I have mixed feelings. It's like, I'm going to stop sharing in a way. It's like, on the one hand, I feel like that, okay, where am I? Oh, if I could just find myself again on this thing. Well, the point is I know that there's people out there, and it's wonderful. I'm so glad. And it takes this kind of distress to be able to find people. It's amazing. But out of it all, people were also saying that about the echo, and so it is a matter of working with what we're doing. If we can apply this small factor to the issues that we're all going to be living with, it's going to be most amazing. So can you see me and hear me right now, folks?
Yeah.
Okay, because I can't see you at all.
The echo is gone
here.
Okay, there you are. I see you. Okay. And did it go away? Did it go away?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it could have been on my end. I had to go into settings and click cancel echo. For whatever reason, I don't know why it was there. So I apologize. I'm grateful also that we have this extended community, and may we continue on. We will set another date that will be all fireproof. So here I'm going to fireproof.
Question is that possible in 2021?
and Uranus rules the internet, right?
Oh yeah.
In Aquarius. Yeah. And we have 3 Saturn squares this year.
Yeah, and this is the first, February 14th. Mm-hmm. Although I did read it would be on the 17th. And I just pulled up a noon chart. Madame Ximon was trying to help me pull this together at the last minute, but we can see that Uranus is down here at 7 degrees Taurus, and Saturn is at 6 degrees. So they will be moving. It will be a little bit later than this. And look at that. Mars, well, that's the first one. I can pull up another one unless somebody has a thought that how this energy.
I think it's interesting. I mean, both of those planets, so Saturn, who doesn't like, change, and it's squaring Uranus, who is all about change and freedom. So it's rebel energy and unexpected surprises. I think what it's telling us basically is we need to bring order to our finances, for one, because Saturn represents finances. I think we're going to see some changes in the stock market and all that stuff next year. But it's asking us to bring structure, which is Saturn, to chaos, which is Uranus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to watch it play out.
That's so true. And Madame Ximon, I see that Lilith is 21 degrees. Well, this is I don't know if it's a true or mean, and I realize that Black Moon Lilith, which is a point in reference to the moon that people can find out about, but I don't know if there's a significance there, as it's quite conjunct Mars. But it's just staying right there for these whole year in Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. So it will probably be a trigger back and forth.
Okay, so Black Moon Lilith, I suspect that one is the mean. But honestly, the true Black Moon Lilith is very hard to pin down. Just like, the nature of what that point represents, okay? And she is doing this whole dancing back and forth, this series of, retrograde and direct and retrograde and direct, dancing back and forth between now and July. It'll be back and forth across Aries and Taurus. As a result, she's going to, in particular, be triggering Pluto a lot. That was the thing that really leapt out at me, was this series of, first a bunch of squares and then a bunch of trines with Pluto. And Black Moon Lilith relates, if you really want to distill her down, she relates to the dynamic between our personal authenticity and rejection. Rejection by individuals, rejection by society. And when we are playing out Lilith themes in our lives, it can be very, very easy to, be hurt by the rejection of others, okay? When we are being our most true and authentic selves and being vulnerable, and people are like, you weirdo, you freak, you're not one of us, okay? That demonization is what happened to Lilith, okay? And the growth potential there is to find compassion for those who reject you, and at the same time still be willing to present your authentic self, okay? And so when we see Lilith in this dance with Pluto in particular, Pluto is these intense institutional systems, okay? Governments, hospitals, organized crime, all contained under Pluto, okay? And so when we're looking at these giant, we've looked at these giant systemic problems that have been revealed during Pluto's transit of Capricorn, and especially during 2020. And now in 2021, our authenticity and our willingness to be true to ourselves despite rejection by that system, and even oppression or control by that system, is what is being challenged to come to the forefront. And when Black Moon Lilith, the true Black Moon Lilith, is in Aries, of course, there's going to be this head butting, okay, with those challenging square aspects. And that's, Black Moon Lilith in Aries is super individualistic and a warrior, even more so than she normally is. She is a warrior there, okay? And so, yeah, we're going to probably see some clashes with authority in particular.
Yeah.
But then when she moves into Taurus, and remember, she's retrograding back and forth, so there's going to be a bit of a dance back and forth between the two, okay?
It's continual. I noticed that.
Okay, and Pluto brings the intensity to it, and Lilith brings the intensity right back, okay? She is somebody who is not afraid of Pluto, okay? And so then when she starts to trine Pluto, think about that we will have had that conflict and then suddenly move into this space of, oh, but now we can join forces. Think about how that can reshape our institutions and our societies, okay? If we are living from the heart and in some way joining forces with our society as opposed to opposing.
It's an integral theme. It's supporting by other comments here about the authenticity, which of course Uranus and Aquarius wants to have our elevated best self and the real deal, we might say. Yes. And when we consider that all these air energies are trying to reconstruct our perspectives, not an easy course. But look at the success. We're actually listening to each other. We're not with echoes. We're not hearing the sound. We're here right at
Yay!
Yeah, that was so awesome what you just said. It's funny because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at my show notes, and one of the things I wrote is it was about our shadow side. That's that's what you're talking about. Embracing our shadow. And what we've been seeing outward is the expression of those who can't or are not able to, those who can't or won't deal with their shadow side. They're expressing it outward. And that's why we're seeing the clashes that we're seeing. It's unexpressed. It's a projection of their own shadow. And so that's, there's a whole population who've been embracing that, and then the ones who've been rejecting it. And so what I had written here was, I said, it's been uncomfortable because I'm just going to read it because I just thought it was so funny. You were just so saying that. It's been uncomfortable because our shadow side is an integral part of who we are, and we've had a chance to intimately cozy up to it. So now we get inventive, expressive, and show who we are this year without feeling threatened by others' shadows. It's a process, and it won't be overnight, but it's the direction we want to head in.
That's very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Right on, Susie.
Yeah, thank you. That's right. I want to mention, yes.
I've been talking about this for 2 years. Are you kidding me? It's like, I can't believe I had even read that.
Suzie Kerr-Wright, and we have Kathrine Metcalf and Madame Ximon and myself here on January 2nd. Oh my gosh, we're just crusading into this world of the new, and we haven't even reached, the eclipses. We'll have to get back together and talk about eclipses, because really that's stellium in, when I think about it, we have really touched the basis of what the motion is, and where the tide wants to bring us.
Yeah.
And so we're going to have quite a shot in the arm, you might say, in February. The election will be over. We will have a new presidency. However, that manages to reveal our, yeah, and really
something will be different.
Yes, and considering that it'll give us lots of fodder, you might say, to recompost and reconsider really what's integrally the root of some of our misconceptions that, maybe need to be edited on a basis legally or privately in so many ways. It's going to be, but we do have one another. So in Aquarius, I wonder if we'll have big innovations, the sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, then Jupiter, Saturn, and Pallas Athena, the strategist, the female sister to Aries.
Yep. Lots of twists and turns.
Yeah, there we go. Get your paddle out.
Expect the unexpected.
Yes.
That's
just dream up.
Yeah.
You know, really, I think compassion is the name of the game when I'm listening to this, because for mutable signs, it's a constant trauma. And I'm saying that tongue in cheek. It's not really, but just like today, there was a lot of stress, but we managed, and it's like, okay. But for fixed, and Aquarius is that fixed energy, and it does therefore bring up the grand square in the fixed signs. And so whether it's Leo, Aquarius, Saturn, not Saturn, Scorpio, or Taurus, you know, it's not, and we'll have this in every area of our chart, some more significantly in more powerful places that we use more, or maybe we ignore more, you know. So as you say, that shadow side, to connect with one another, I think that's being increasingly asked for us, is to walk through the shadows, you know, shine the light and connect with each other through some kind of distant hands to bring ourselves up.
I do think this year is going to be really pivotal with those Saturn square Uranus, because I actually looked at when it happens every 14 years. So I love looking at the history and what has happened. So I actually looked back to see, okay, what happened that was huge in 2007? Because I do think that we're going to see some exciting new innovations and that kind of thing. So in 2007, Steve Jobs came out with the iPhone.
Was that 2007?
2007. So,
well, you know, this AI stuff, I mean, there's so much coming down the pike. We just got to be careful to just, you know, use it, not let it use us.
Right. Use it wisely and with hopefully the highest good for all of humanity, right? And then also Nancy Pelosi became the first female Speaker of the House in 2007. And Barack Obama actually threw his hat in to run for president. So first woman, you know, first Black man, new ways of communication. So yeah, I think we're going to see some exciting, new, innovative things, and I hope we see some with energy too this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Resources. Back to you. I was looking at Madame Ximon, thinking, you know, and it wasn't your sound. I think it was my sound. So just to be accountable here, but yes, I would love that. You know, like use the tides, use the sun. Oh, my little utopian brain just loves this.
Well, it's all there, you know. See, that's the thing. It's like it's all there. It just needs to be made accessible for everybody, you know.
And really, this is the beauty of networking, because I go back to the drama that we had here in different parts. The audience experienced part of it if they hung in with us. And then just prior to the show, we had our own little private glitch trying to connect. And so it was choppy waters, you know, it was choppy getting this little rocket ship off the ground. But the point was, through collaboration, the solution came. I worked on my computer. It was through my settings. So yes, innovation is going to, it's like those ads that say the collective is unmeasurable. It produces it. You know what? It's like the sun. The flares out of the sun, the energy as it leaves is exponentially so much more intense than it was inside the sun. So that's some kind of creative burst.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think a huge part of this Saturn-Uranus square series, especially coming on the heels of 2020, there is a theme there that is not simply this trying to change structures and this balance between, control and chaos. Okay. But I think it's really important for us to recognize Saturn can bring fear. And after the pressures of 2020, okay, there is a lot of fear that can get stirred up because we've already been so traumatized. And Uranus, with all that sudden shocking change that Uranus is known for bringing, that can feel a bit like a roller coaster ride and scare us. Thankfully, those three squares don't have quite the same pressure as we had, that pressure cooker kind of feeling that we were having with Saturn and Jupiter and Pluto all together.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a key thing, a key strategy, a tool that I want to impart to everybody with regard to that Saturn-Uranus combination, because I recently went through that natally last year. Okay. Fear and excitement are two sides of the same coin. And so when you are being challenged by fear, when you are gripped by fear, I want you to consider, what is the excitement that you can gain out of the experience? How can you look at it as, oh, this is a brain tickling challenge instead of a threat against my life? Okay. Because Taurus, Uranus and Taurus can really stir up our survival concerns.
Yes, that's what I was saying in the beginning. Yes.
And so when you got that butting heads with that Saturnine fear, you can get really scared. So I want us to think about, where can we find excitement in place of fear? Where can we rise to the challenge in a way that is innovative, in a way that is forward thinking, in a way that is willing to embrace the change?
I will add to this, because I'm thinking of polarities, and the polarity to Aquarius, because we have the duality of the rulership. There is this factor of the tradition with Aquarius looking at Saturn, which is the fear, but of Uranus, the polarity is Leo. And often when I have my fear, which happens, we're human, and we're so within the climate that you have to like leap outside and look at it from a totally different angle. But I've been looking at, where's the joy? Like, just to settle down in some kind of focus. Now, to me, it's not always relaxing. Sometimes that isn't my first step to find my joy. I have to admit. But when I'm finally in my joy, then I'm like, oh, this is so nice. But in that joy, it's like another addendum, I will say, to look for excitement, because excitement can be thrills and it can be a lot of things to people's heads. So I'm just augmenting that. But we do need to, you know what? I thought of something else. And I think I have a moment to spit it out. And that is that by being ourselves, being truly ourselves, truly looking at inside ourselves, anchoring our responses to how we feel, connecting with that body, that Taurus senses of self, that temple inside, we will help us respond rather than react. And rather than respond, yeah.
I said, you guys are reading my notes. Yes, bravo. That's it. That's the thing. When you know who you are, you know when to move. You know when to move through that fear. It takes what it takes to process through it, but you're absolutely dead on. When you are in the core, when you stay in the moment and present in your life, that's when you know. Yeah. And it's funny, again, you said, Madame Ximon, you said again, it's like, the fear. Saturn rules, I had Saturn rules limitations, fear, and Saturn and Aquarius can also be kind of antisocial. So there's a book that I got a while back. I think I got it at the convention, actually.
No, you have a few minutes. Go ahead. Say it quick.
It's by Eliza Einhorn. It's called The Little Book of Saturn. And it says for Saturn and Aquarius, these are the things that you want to do is set trends, be you, think outside the box, don't follow fashion, don't stay at home, and don't fear your
All
wrong.
right. Well, we'll put that in the comments.
Awesome.
Because we're YouTube and we're a podcast. Thank you so much. Next week is Planet Buzz. I have Kathrine Metcalf, Suzie Kerr-Wright, and Madame Ximon. And go to Talk Cosmos. We're really thrilled. And we'll return. We'll get another date. And it may not be choppy, but at least we'll be on the same tugboat, right? Okay, or something like that. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. This was great.
Thank
Great
you.
to see you guys.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to Talk Cosmos, the show where Sue Rose Minahan and guests unveil astrology's ancient archetypes that continually build the collective experiences in our unconsciousness. Be sure to tune in next Saturday at 6 p.m. to continue finding your roots in the stars.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers